You're listening to SMUBE's Campus Radio. Say what you want to say. I'm Issa, your host today, and welcome to another episode of Around the World in 80 Hours, or AT80, where we introduce community service projects here in SMU. So here with us today are Mani and Durga, two of the leaders of this year's installment of Project Thoon. So everyone give them a warm welcome, and thank you so much for joining us here today.
Hello everyone, thank you for having us.
So in your own words, can you give us a bit more of a brief overview of what Project Thoon does and who's behind it?
So Project Thoon is our flagship community service that's run by Tamara. So Tamara basically is an independent Tamil language and cultural organization which is run by SMU students. So Tamara mainly aims to provide a platform for all members of the Tamil community for them to better appreciate the Tamil language and culture, and also to provide them with opportunity to give back to society. As such, we also aim to develop individuals who not only have the heart to serve, but also become critical thinkers in understanding and tackling these key issues in our Tamil community. So this is why one of our missions is to actually serve our community through the various community involvement projects, which is how Project Thoon actually came about. So you guys want to know, but Thoon is actually, in Tamil, it actually means pillar, which is also a metaphor for support and providing support. So therefore, Project Thoon actually serves to fulfill the community aspect of Tamara.
I know that Project Thoon focuses a lot on arts enrichment, and I'm sure this wasn't exactly easy to take online from something that you planned as a physical CSP. But I wanted to ask, why did you choose to focus on arts enrichment in particular, out of all the different topics you could have chosen to make a CSP about?
Okay, so I think, like you said, there's many other things that we have considered, but the reason why we choose arts specifically, because we thought that arts actually is a common avenue for stress relief among younger kids. And that's, I think, what we went through. And this is something that, because we are engaging with students from underprivileged backgrounds, so we hope that we actually give them access to these skills which they didn't initially have given their financial constraints, and also give them an opportunity to something new that they would have not learned during their school curriculum as well.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned that it's a really good avenue for stress relief, and that's very true. I find that until now, whenever I'm stressed, I usually paint or doodle, and I think that really helps calm down my stress levels. So Thoon really offers a wide range of activities for the kids, from things like comic drawing to different productions. So out of all the activities that you do, which one do you think was the toughest to execute? And what were some of your favorite moments throughout the project?
I think out of all the activities, the performing arts activities were slightly more challenging to execute, given the fact that we had to do it online. So if you were to take like dancing and even acting, it's a lot more easier when it's physical. So now that we have to change it to the online format, we really had to need more time to carefully plan these sessions and to find ways which it can be also virtually friendly for the kids.
So what were some of the ways that you kept high levels of engagement throughout the whole project? Because as you mentioned, things like productions are a bit harder to take online.
Yeah, so it was not easy because it was hard to sustain, like you mentioned, high levels of engagement when when the interaction is actually between volunteers and participants is limited due to the whole online format. Nonetheless, we tried our best to keep energy and engagement levels high every lesson by incorporating games and HTHT sessions. This informal structure actually enabled the kids to see our volunteers not only as mentors, but also as their big brothers and sisters or even friends.
So you've both clearly done a lot during your time as Thoon leaders. What are some of the things you've learned from this, and what are some of your biggest takeaways from the entire experience?
Yeah, so for me personally, the most important thing that I've learned is that when it comes to community service projects or any other form of volunteer programs, the relationship between volunteers and the target beneficiary is one that I would say can be characterized as a two-way street based on mutual growth actually. So by helping or reaching out to others in need, we can learn a lot from them as well. And this can help us grow as individuals as well. And it has certainly happened for me.
So now that you've finished your first run of Project Thoon, are there any things you have in store for the second run?
So this run we'll be actually looking at more technical skills when it comes to arts and language. So we're looking at introducing public speaking, script writing, and filmmaking. But that being said, we'll also be keeping certain aspects of the previous Thoon that was actually well received by the students. So we'll still be looking at the acting, poster making, dancing, etc. to actually cater to their needs as well. And apart from that, towards the end for our finale session, we're actually having the students to come up with a production style performance where they'll be actually designing posters to promote their performance per se, and also to showcase whichever talent they want. So be it acting or dancing, or even coming up with like a short film.
And what other projects do you have in the works right now?
we have our comic book release. Yeah, so the main gist of the project is to actually inculcate the habit of reading Tamil books among students using this comic book medium.
Maybe you can share a bit more about what the comic book is actually about.
Okay, so the comic book is actually about a story set in modern day environment where an epic Tamil figure actually meets a regular student who struggles to speak in Tamil actually. So the story is about the whole journey of the two characters and how the student actually learns this language better.
I see. That's really interesting to hear. How did you actually start this comic book project?
Not being able to speak in Tamil or to write in Tamil fluently is becoming a common phenomenon that's happening among the younger generations of Tamil students. And because it has to start young, you see, because it wouldn't matter if they grow up and then they still don't speak it and write it, the intervention process is not going to be as effective if it's not young. So we wanted to target from young, and we needed a medium that could actually relate to them. So we thought, okay, why not we come up with a comic book? It's like fun. It's not actually an actual storybook. There's more pictures to words, but the fact is that you can actually get the students to engage in it by actually reading it.
I see. That's a super interesting initiative. To stay updated with what Tamira has in store, be sure to follow their official Instagram at Tamira_OFFL. And I'm sure we're all looking forward to seeing how Thoon will continue to spread a love for the arts with the rest of the community. Once again, I'm with Mani and Durga, two leaders of this year's installment of Project Thoon, and I'm Issa from SMUBE's Campus Radio. Say what you want to say. Be sure to leave a like below and let us know in the comments what you liked about today's episode and what else you want to see from us in the future. Thank you so much and catch you again next time. Bye!